How you going, people? Oh, my horses are just heading out. They saw me pull up here with a golf cart with all this stuff on it. A lot of times I'll bring my guns out on that golf course when I'm going shooting. So I'll throw the guns, earplugs, and all the stuff on the golf cart, and they saw me. They're going to walk around, get a drink of water, then head to somewhere else. Bye, boys. Like, whatever, Dad. You got that stupid camera out. Alright, so, since I'm out here burning and I got to keep an eye on, I got my camera, I figured I'd knock out a couple of, This isn't really a crazy cop story, but I guess it kind of tells you what cops go through when they're dealing with government and unethical DAs, etc. So we're going to talk about, for all you DAs out there, how to get your witness or suspect to lie on the stand legally, and they can never tell you that they lied. But Rick, how can that be? I thought people couldn't lie on a stand. Yeah, well, you thought wrong. So what happens when you go to court is the DA, the prosecutor, city attorney, whatever they want to call it, he gets to put his case together, interview his witnesses, and shit, the wind just changed. He gets to put his case together, interview all witnesses, subpoena them, and he kind of knows what they're going to say before he puts them on a stand. You ever watch old Perry Mason? You know, they say never ask a question you don't know the answer to. Well, the DA gets that option. The public defender or the defense doesn't really get to talk to the cop. The cop can't talk to the public defender or the enemy or the other side because they're more on the prosecution team. So what happens, what's supposed to happen, and this is why I like Britain or UK's system a little better, I hear that their public defenders and their prosecutors have to switch every 6 months, a year. There's some time frame to where if you're on the defense side, you have to be a prosecutor. And if you're on a prosecution team, you have to be a defense. I think that's a great system because it keeps government in check. It allows them to know, I'm going to be on the other side of the fence. I'm going to learn the tricks that these people use when I'm over here. So when I'm over here defending, it makes me better. And because I know the tricks that defense use when I'm prosecuting, it makes me better. So I think that's a great system, and I wish the U.S. would adopt that. But it's not popular because you've got defense attorneys that would never want to be a prosecutor. They never want to put anybody in jail. They want to let everybody go and blame everybody else and blame conservative, Republican, whatever. Blame everything but liberalism. So that would never go over well. Well, being crooked DAs and government, they're always going to figure out a way to work around the system. So, if you're putting somebody on a stand and you want them to lie, Rick, you can't want them to lie. That's conspiracy. That's perjury. You can't do that. The government's perfect and honest and they would never. You're an idiot. So, and I've seen Reisig do exactly what I'm saying. So, and Jeff Reisig's that crooked DA that I end up turning in trying to hide evidence in a murder trial for a death penalty case, and because I turned him in, they came after me, tried to make up some shit, fired me, I got my job back, and ended up retiring, and they gave me a settlement. So, but everyone else thinks that, oh, I got fired. Whatever. So anyway, this crooked DA, Reisig, here's his modus operandi. Here's how he gets people to lie on a stand for him to help his case, yet his hands are clean and the person can never say that he lied. How can you do that, Rick? Well, I'm going to tell you. All you little prosecutor, propeller head lawyers that went through Harvard, get your little notepad out because I'm going to give you the tip of the lifetime right here. And I learned it from my buddy Jeff Reisig. So, when a prosecution interviews his witnesses, he has to kind of think about what is the defense going to ask you? What are the problems that you're going to run into? If the defense asks this, I want to know what you're going to say so I can have a counter, or I can lead you to a better answer. It's still truthful, but it's better. So when the DA is interviewing people or a witness, they're going to say, okay, so I understand that you contacted this rape victim first and she came home. Tell me what she said. Well, she said this, that, and that, blah, 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 and she said she was doing coke with her friends. Well, that's not really relevant to the case, that she was raped, that she was doing coke earlier. You don't really need to say that. Don't volunteer that unless it's asked. I'm not telling you to lie, but I don't want you to volunteer that she told you that she was doing coke before she got raped. I just don't want you to tell that. So then that fact, because that hurts the prosecution's case. That means to me and to the law, that information is what's called discoverable. I have to discover that to defense because I have to let the defense know everything I know so he can prepare the best defense for his client, give him the best advice. If he only has half the information, his advice may change. Let me check on my fire. She's not going out of control. So there's checks and balances, but it only works if you have ethical people. And I'm telling you, been a cop for well over 30 years, worked with a lot of agencies, federal, state, etc. I've seen many more crooked DAs and attorneys in the prosecution team than I have cops. And now they don't wear cameras, and it never told out, and it's kept, and the lawyer protection program goes into play, and they don't want to air their dirty laundry because they want their profession respected. And they want people to know that we have honor, and we take an oath, and we're, yeah. Cops are the only ones that have to run around, take lie detector tests. Lawyers don't have to take lie detector tests to get hired. If you're a DA, you don't have to take a lie detector test because they know you freaking lie. Cops have to take a lie detector test before they're hired, but I digress. So anyway, let's get back to this prosecution. I'm going to try to stay on point here. So here's how you get your guy to lie. You get him to tell you, and this is the short of it. You can hang around, I'll explain it. But basically, you get the guy to tell you what you want to hear. You promise him something for that. And then before you stop the interview and terminate it, here's where you get your get out of jail free card. The guy can never hurt you. Jeff Reisig, he's a weasel, but he's smart. You look at the guy and you go, look, you just told me this story, and that's going to help my case, and I appreciate it, and I want you to tell the same story on the stand, and I don't want you to change that, but comes that big wind picking up, my fire getting out of control. But I need you to tell me that what you just told me is true. Oh, yes, sir, it's true. Yeah. Okay, because we have a deal, and I'm going to let you out of prison early, and I'm going to cut your sentence down, so I got to know that you're telling me the truth. Oh, yes, sir, it's true. Okay, so I like your story. I'm going to cut you a deal, and now you got to tell me it's true. Okay, now it's true. Okay, so then before he leaves, he goes, look, everything you just told me is true, correct? Correct. So when you get on the stand, you tell the same story, you understand that's under perjury, correct? And if you violate these terms and you change this story, it's gonna cancel our deal, you're going back to prison. Well, that's not really telling a guy to tell the truth. That's telling a guy, you better stick to the story that you just told me. Now, trying to prove that, unless you're in on the interview, you're not gonna be able to do it. But I guarantee you, when you're interviewing somebody, you can lead, especially when there's no witnesses and it's not in court, and it's just you and the cops in there, you can take a guy where you want him to go. You can tell, a DA can tell a cop to go tell, man, this wind's picking up, I'm sure you're getting wind noise. I got a microphone over it. Quit crying about the wind, I can't help it. The DA can tell the cop, look, man, when you interview this guy, this is what I need. If he doesn't give me this, I can't help him. So then cops, either unknowingly because they're stupid or implicit to this conspiracy, will go in there and say, look, man, I want to take your statement, and I've talked to the DA, but if you can't give us A, B, and C, he doesn't want to make a deal. So there's no reason for us to talk unless you can give us A, B, and C. Can you give us A, B, and C? Let's see. I'm in prison, and if I don't give you A, B, and C, I stay in prison. You just told me if I give you A, B, and C, I get out of prison. Yeah, I can give you A, B, and C. Well, that's a shocker. Who would ever predicted that? So that's how you get these guys. So the cop goes in there, he gets a statement that he wants, he gets the guy to swear to it that is true under penalty of perjury, he tells the guy, if you change the story that you just told me, we're going to charge you with perjury. We're going to add time and you're going to spend longer in prison. So the guy is pretty much screwed. He's got to stick to his lies in order to get the deal, in order to get out of prison. That's why I don't like when DAs use prisoners for witnesses. Because although they have good information and a lot of time it's accurate, you have crooked weasel DAs that manipulate the system, and they know they have a guy in prison who can get out of prison if he tells you what he wants. Now you, in good conscience, can get up there and say, this guy told me he was telling the truth. I didn't do anything wrong. I thought he was telling me the truth. Prove that I knew he wasn't telling me the truth. You can't prove it. And lawyers know without proof, you can say whatever you want. They'll just say that's a false allegation. You can't make a false allegation unless you can prove it. If you can't prove it, it's a false allegation. So attorneys know that. They play the game. And then just to sew up the deal and to make the jury really like me, I got this crooked con telling me crooked lies that I cut a crooked deal with to get crooked testimony so I can win my case. Now, just to stick it to the jury one more time, the last question I'm going to ask this guy is, did I make you any promises to give me this deal? No. Did you tell me the truth? Yes. Did I ask you if you were telling me the truth? Yes. Did I tell you when you testified I only wanted the truth? Yes. Man, the jury's just like, man, stick their chest out. That's a good prosecutor. He's doing everything right. He just asked that guy. He told the guy he wanted the truth. He asked. He's setting you up, you big bunch of dummies. He's leading you like a fish right to where you want to go so he can hook you into voting guilty. He's telling the truth. Prove it. Somebody come here and prove to me that a DA did what I just said. You can't do it. You're going to get a cop who doesn't want to admit that I coerced or I might have taken a statement. You're not going to get too many cops that go, you know what, I think you're bullshitting me, man. This doesn't make sense. You're not going to get DAs and crooked cops that work with crooked DAs. They don't want to trip up a good story that helps their case. Okay? If I want you on my side, I'm not going to try and trick you. I'm not going to investigate. I'm not going to find holes in your system. There's no point. What's the payoff other than being ethical and doing the right thing? And we're already talking. We got crooked DAs, crooked cops working together. So, if you're a DA and you want somebody to get up there and lie, you tell them, this is a story I need from you on a stand. If it's the truth. But it's got to be the truth. You got to say it's the truth. You got to swear it's the truth. And I'm going to ask the jury if I told you I wanted the truth and if you told me the truth. So if you can't do that, then don't give me this story. Now other people are going to say, well, Rick, how else could you do it? Look, I don't need to go through all that to tell if a guy's lying. I get corroborating evidence, corroborating witnesses. I get time. I try to trick him up. I trip him. I lie to him and tell him I got some information that says he's lying. I can discredit a statement if I don't believe it, if I work at it. If it's false. If it's true and I try to do all that, it's going to remain true. But doing all what I just said takes work, and that takes time. And if you get a case, and I've done other crazy cop stories where the DA wanted me to leave out things in my report, and I was like, I ain't leaving that out. Well, it hurts my case. I don't give a shit. My job is not to help your case. My job is to get to the truth. Now, when you go to court, I used to think the court was a place to get to the truth. Court don't care about the truth. The court hides the truth all the time. They suppress statements, they suppress evidence that totally shows a guy's guilty that would prove truth. And they go, you ain't using it. Because they penalize or punish or suppress that evidence. So the court is not about the truth. That's a misconception of a lot of people. They go, court is a court of law. Or they go, court of justice. It's not justice for the victim. It's not the truth. It's playing within the rules, manipulating words, getting somebody to say what you want, making somebody prove something that you said was wrong or illegal, and if they can't prove it, then you get to ring that inevitable bell that can't be done wrong. So when a DA stands in front of a jury and goes, did I tell you I wanted the truth? Yes. Is that the truth that you gave me? Yes. Okay, I didn't ask you to lie, correct? No. Perfect. Jury loves him. Somebody that knows him is thinking, you weaselly backdoor crooked ass. Alright, so that's my crazy cop story on how to get your witnesses to lie on the stands legally and to cover yourself and make the jury think that you're just a straight up good honest guy. All right, we'll end that there.